day to go for Karnataka to vote. A new video has emerged from the income tax raids in Bidar, where Congress MLA Ashok Kheny, Mr. Moneybags, has been raided. IT officials raided the Congress MLA's house in Bidar. It's the big story that's we're tracking this a day after Republic exposed the Congress dirty cash. IT sleuths conducting raids, and visuals on your screen of Ashok Kheny being raided. His residence in Bidar has been raided by income tax officials, and Republic TV has got exclusive access to the pictures of those raids. And this is a businessman come producer come neta who has been raided. Hashtag Kong dirty cash is what we're calling it. One MLA after another caught, and Congress facing corruption heat with a day to go for the people of Karnataka to cast their vote in the state assembly elections. This is the newly inducted Mr. Moneybags of the Congress party, Ashok Kheny, an MLA who has been raided in Bidar. Non-stop raids and cash seizures by IT officials across Karnataka. It was Bidar, and before that it was Dharwad. We have Niranjan Narayanaswamy, our editor, now joining us live from our Mumbai newsroom for the latest in just a bit. But the big story that we're tracking right now, a day after campaigning ended in Karnataka and a day to go for Karnataka to vote, we have Deepti Sachdeva, my colleague, first joining us live straight from Bengaluru with the latest on that front. In fact, she's joining us from Badami. Deepti, Congress facing corruption heat at the worst time possible, just a day to go for the people of Karnataka to cast their vote.
Oh yes, and you know, Krishna, for all of us who've covered elections, we know it very clearly. During the eve of elections, the very mention of money, remember, is going to be raising a lot of eyebrows. Until now, the IT department, Krishna, has told us that about 31 crores has been the total unaccounted money that has been recovered so far. So somewhere, this money was in circulation, I think, for reasons that do not deserve a mention in democracy. The reason why the entire expose that our colleague Prema had put out yesterday, Krishna, was so very important. And just about the last week, you know, I'm trying to get you the big picture, and then perhaps we can get into the minutiae here. It's just about last Sunday, May the 6th, when you have Siddharamaiah, who stays here in a resort in Badami, the Krishna Heritage Resort. A day later, you had the IT department conducting raids. 2 days later, you have these voter iCards that have been recovered from a flat in Bengaluru. Post that, our colleague Prema is able to put out that big expose again that involves a Congress top brass. And today, look at this, we are less than 24 hours away from that big polling tomorrow, and there have been multiple locations that at the moment are under the radar or scanner by the IT department. Why? Because they have tip-offs of unaccounted cash being stashed at these places. Now clearly this is a story that has to be told. This is a story that also deserves, I think, more clarification from those political parties now who are being named here. Till now, remember, there are Congress MLAs, their own aides, that have been named in this particular story, Krishna. But have we heard anything from the Congress party so far, apart from the fact that this, they say, is political vendetta?
Deepti, they are joining us live from Badami. Republic TV's team on ground in Karnataka with just a day to go for voting. Now we have Republic TV's editor Niranjan Narayanaswamy joining us live from our Mumbai newsroom for more. Niranjan, we have accessed these visuals exclusively. Clearly seen in the visuals is Ashok Kheny, the Congress MLA in question, and this is not the first from Dharwad to Bidar. Congress facing corruption heat, Niranjan.
Well, that's correct. You know, in the last couple of days, there have been several raids that have been held across Karnataka. And if you saw those visuals, you can also see Ashok Kheny, the Congress's Mr. Moneybags, sitting outside his residence while the raids are being conducted. We'll play out that visual once again, where Ashok Kheny is seen sitting at the house. So you know that he's in Bidar, of course, a day before Karnataka goes to polls. He's campaigning, of course his campaigning ended yesterday, and he was at the residence when the IT department conducted the raids. Now all of this is critical because you had several ministers, some MLAs also raided in the last couple of weeks. You had a Congress minister, I think Kulkarni, who was raided this morning. And you have Ashok Kheny, who recently joined the Congress party, who was an independent MLA, a very controversial leader, because you will remember that a couple of years ago when the Rajya Sabha elections, the last Rajya Sabha elections took place, this man had a huge role to play. Now he's called the Mr. Moneybags in Karnataka because he's also an influential businessman, infamous for the nice corridor scandal and the scam that took place. So Ashok Kheny is someone who's very influential, solely because he pumps in money into a lot of parties, and he makes sure that parties get an edge solely because of his financial prowess. But I can tell you that his house being raided is significant. We don't know whether recoveries have been made from his house yet, but we saw the IT department and those who were involved in the raid taking away a few things from his house. So all of this is significant, and as we speak, we're getting in some more breaking news and pictures of the raids that are being conducted across Karnataka on different leaders. Now we don't know whether these are just Congress leaders who are being raided, whether BJP leaders are also being raided, but this is what I can tell you. I'm tossing it back to you, Krishna, while we get you some more breaking news and big news.
Niranjan Narayanaswamy, our editor there, joining us with the latest update, and the visuals on your screens speak for themselves because Ashok Kheny has been raided by income tax officials. He is clearly visible in the visuals that Republic TV has accessed. We have Deepthi Sachdeva also joining us on this broadcast live from Badami. Deepthi, Dharwad, and then earlier this morning another Congress MLA's aide was raided in Ankola. And this even as Republic TV has been bringing detail after detail, explosive details, the biggest election news break with hashtag Kong Dirty Cash, and this is the kind of a scandal that can tilt the scales in one side's favor.
Oh yes, the reason why, it deserves an explanation from the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. The reason why we were looking at more clarity to come in from Rahul Gandhi post that big expose that was put out just about last evening. And Krishna, for our viewers joining us on the broadcast, only for their benefit, I just want to reiterate one line that we heard from the BJP, who called an emergency press conference. That conference was addressed by Nalin Kohli and Gaurav Bhatia, and they said that there is this invisible hand of corruption. They said Congress ka jo ye haath hai, ye corruption ke saath hai. And why did they say this? Is because of some bit of unaccounted cash that has been discovered during this entire campaign trail. And I think our colleague Pooja Prasanna will bear me out on that, because this is unprecedented. Never before in the history of Karnataka elections have we seen so much money that has been recovered in IT raids. 31 crore, Krishna. That is the money that has been recovered so far, and we are not even counting what's been recovered today, because this is all that has been recovered till about last evening. So what was this 31 crore doing? Who did it belong to? Which political party wanted to use it, and why? And does this mean that the voters here, their votes are actually being bought and sold, Krishna?
Oh, absolutely. Big questions hang, and this is unprecedented in the lead up in the last few days of couple of days of campaigning, to be exact, and with a day to go. Today is the rest period before voting takes place tomorrow. Scandal after scandal emerging. Raids across the state of Karnataka, income tax raids across the state of Karnataka. The latest of those is income tax officials raiding Congress MLA Ashok Kheny's house in Bidar. For all those who've tuned into this broadcast, Republic TV has accessed visuals of those raids and confirmation the fact that Ashok Kheny was in fact at his residence when the raids took place. Mr. Ashok Kheny, Congress MLA Ashok Kheny, was an independent MLA who's now part of the Congress party, who's known to be an influential businessman. He's called the Mr. Moneybags of Congress party in Karnataka now.